I was too close to that one. I had to. I shouldn't do that one live. They're called Midlake. Check them out. They're really good. Right. Worst DJ ever. Right, look. This chair's creaking. It's old. This chair, right? It's really old, right? And it's all broken. One arm's broken. And the reason I can't get rid of it is because Pickle sleeps on it in the day. She sort of spends the morning. She's got loads of little places, but she's sort of here, sort of 9 to 11:30. So that's why I've got a creaky chair with a broken arm. Oh, I've got a bad arm, and I'm still around. Right, I've got loads of questions. I've got bad eyesight as well, though, so if I have to look, I've got to read the questions. Could get glasses, couldn't I? It's light with me, though. I can see perfectly if it's bright enough. But if the light fails, like if I'm playing tennis and the light isn't great, I find it hard. I don't know what that means. Is that normal? Any opticians out there? Like I've got perfect eyesight if it's really bright all the time. Is that a thing? I might have more rods than cones or less, I don't know, bluffing. I know one's for sort of sharpness and light and one's for colour. Like some animals, they can't see colour but they can see shapes and stuff better than us. And in the dark. What's the best thing about being a famous comedian? What's the worst thing? On an average day, how many people recognise you or stop you for selfies? Do you ever have a whole day without being recognised? Well, where I live, where I walk around, no one really. They sort of see me all the time, and I walk fast as well. And I've got a little baseball cap on and sunglasses, and they see me too late. They just think, who's that tramp? Who's that tramp shuffling along? Oh, that was Ricky Gervais. It's too late. When I go somewhere else where people obviously don't usually see me, I get stopped now and again. And when people know I'm going to be somewhere, like, I don't know, a red carpet or outside a gig. But no, I don't get... I mean, I suppose I'll get recognised all the time, but no one bothers me. As I say, I think I'm not that sort of... I don't know, I don't go around in a fast, open-top car. I shuffle along like a little homeless person. What's the best thing about being a famous comedian? Well, doing what I want, I suppose. I think the bigger you are, the more you can say what you want. I think we're coming out of it now, but there's been a good few years of ordinary people not being able to say what they want. And some, actors and comedians and artists get in trouble, but I suppose I'm at the stage where I can ignore it and still do and say what I want. So that's good. I mean, free speech is amazing anyway, isn't it? But to have such a platform, that's good. Travel, I like travelling. I can't get over the fact that I can sell out arenas around the world. That is the biggest buzz for me ever, I think. Because that's rare. I think the best thing about last tour was breaking the record at the Hollywood Bowl. So I'm very, very chuffed. I'm chuffed that I'm be able to do that, and I'm chuffed at the rarity of it. So yeah, that's the worst thing. What's the worst thing? Well, people are always after you, aren't they? I think people are threatened by comedians. I've always said this, like, politicians can stand up and say the most awful things and mean it, whereas a comedian says something and he doesn't mean it, and it almost gets more grief. Like, people are more annoyed that you joke about terrible things than say terrible things and actually mean them. I don't know why that is. Maybe they're jealous that we have such a platform and we can say things that some people are scared. I don't know why, but I think that's the worst thing. Just people concerned all the time about what you've got to say. Yeah. But apart from that, it's all good. It's great. It's the best job in the world. So no complaints from me. And if I have got a complaint, I make a joke about it. The days are gone now where I do a serious tweet or do a serious interview, because it's all bad faith. It's horrible. I try not to do any interviews, particularly press now, because they've always got an angle. You're there for different reasons. I'm there to plug a thing. They're there to catch me out or show me up or cause controversy or clickbait. Even a great interview, sometimes the copy editor do a controversial, headline, and it just sort of ruins it. So that's great having your own platform like this. So what I want. I'm usually talking to dogs. I'm not sure I'm making the most of my global platform. Maybe I should be running for office. But no, I'm here answering fucking questions from dogs and cats. That's how I use my platform, on a shitty chair that's creaking with a frozen shoulder. But you know me, I don't complain. So it's great. But one day, yeah, we'll be lovely. When we're a $1 billion company, I'll do a Super Bowl ad. It'll still be just me in the bath swearing, but they'll bleep it. Or maybe I could make up words. I can go, "This is fucking brilliant, you cuns. C-U-N-D, you cuns. You'd be a right cunt not to fucking buy this drink, you twaps." So, and I don't think, what were they couldn't say anything about that, could they? Even those complaints. So I say fucking cunt, you fucking cunt. I was too close to that one. I have to, shouldn't do that one live. Well, newsreaders, when they try and say Jeremy Hunt, they say Jeremy Cunt. So, I'd love to do some TV ads one day, and we will. I'm sure we will. If you buy Dutch Barn. Buy Dutch Barn so I can afford to make a shitty advert on telly calling people fucking cunts. That's worth it, isn't it? You spend 30 quid. Actually, I think it's 25 at Waitrose. It's all an advert, isn't it? It's like the worst infomercial in the world. Right. Sue. Love the new Dutch Barn billboard. That was fun. How much have you enjoyed making the adverts, and how lovely was it to see Auntie? Well, I think I've answered that, and it was great to see Auntie. For those who don't know, Auntie is the dog in Afterlife, who I worked with for like 4 years, and now she was 13 this week, and now she's an old lady, and she's all grey, a bit slower, a bit deafer, but just as lovely. And we're waiting to fill an advert. I'll put it out, and then she just suddenly remembered, and she started licking me. She's lovely. All dogs are lovely. No Meat Pete. If you were to go on Celebrity Mastermind, what would your specialised subject be? Oh, my first thing, I think I might have answered something like this before. It's a tricky one. I mean, I know Celebrity Mastermind, they definitely make it easier. I've heard they even tell the people what books well, that might not be true, but it's easier than the real thing. And your specialised subject should be easy if you know it. I think something like something around David Bowie, maybe. It'd probably be music. It probably would be pop culture as opposed to anything academic, because although if you choose something really academic, I think they make the questions a little bit easier. If you choose something like faulty towers, I think they might make them a little bit harder, but there's much less to research. So, I see faulty towers would be, I wouldn't do bad on faulty towers. Yeah, faulty towers, Bowie. Yeah, it would be very specific. My favourite Bowie songs. Gunner, right? Okay. Can you explain to me what Thomas Nagel's theory? What is it like to be a bat? I think it was an essay. Interesting fact here, Gunner, who's a dog, by the way. That was my first assignment when I started philosophy at university. As you know, I went there to do biology, and after a few weeks, I just thought, it's 40 hours a week, this is really tough, biology. I love it, I still love it. But I just thought, I want to join a band. I don't want to study for 40 hours a week. You're joking. So I went along and did philosophy, and that was my first assignment. I had to do an essay on Nagel's essay, what it's like to be a bat. Right, okay. This might be bullshit, if I can remember it right. He's basically saying, if a human being gradually turned into a bat, they still wouldn't know what it was like to be a bat, because they hadn't had the lived experience of being born a bat and grow up a bat. All they would be able to experience was what it was like to what's the word? They'd have the experiences of being a bat then, but they wouldn't know what it was like to be a bat, to be born a bat, to be a real bat. I think it's always like on the same lines as Wittgenstein's lion. If a lion could speak English, you wouldn't be able to understand it, because its experience, it's being born a lion, and the things that they had to know and care about, they would mean nothing. The references wouldn't be the same. So that's it in a nutshell, I think. It's been a long time, since I was a bat. Anyway, I don't know what score I got. I think it must have been all right. I went, yeah, carry on. Louise, I love your old anecdotes about pissing in the sink and attempting. Do you think, like, Kofi Annan gets letters like this? I love your old anecdotes about pissing in the sink and attempting to make a suit out of a pair of curtains. True stories are the best. I think there was one about shelves. Yeah, there was. Do you still do things like that now in the house which make Jane laugh or shake her head? No, I don't try anything now. No. I either leave it or we get someone to fix it, or Jane fix it. But I can't do anything like that. Not to do with DIY or anything, plumbing, electrical, anything like that. I'm too lazy, too incompetent, too scared. So we get someone to fix those. I do darn my own socks. I quite like that. It's nice. If I've got a favourite sock and it's got one little hole in it, I'm not going to throw two socks away because one's got a little hole in it. Darn it. Forget about it. There you go. Lovely new pair of socks. I still don't waste money. I do waste money. So yeah, the shelf story was, I wanted a shelf, right? I didn't understand. It was in our old flat. And so I got 3 bits of wood out of a skip and I just nailed them into a T shape, and then sort of thought I could prop it up against the wall. But of course, it just went like that, where there was no... So what I did was, I then put another nail one side, tied the string to it, pulled the string and tied it to another nail in the wall. So it was like some sort of fucking suspension bridge. And I did discover one thing, I don't know what it was, I must have seen it on a telly program, that like lumps of wood out of the skip and bricks, they make lovely little shelves for like plants and stuff. I've made a few wood out of skip and brick shelves in my time. Nothing wrong with it. We got one of our sofas out of skip. It's fine. I don't do that anymore either now. If I see something in a skip, I leave it. I gotta leave that. Still got it. Keena, how's your frozen shoulder? Thanks for asking. And will you be doing gigs over the summer months? Yes. We'll try and see you in London. I will. I'm going to try and keep these going all the time, at least 1 or 2 a week. I'm loving it. My frozen shoulder, it's okay. It's not better. I've got better with it. Like, when it first happened, it's sort of really, really painful and sore. And I sort of take care of it, and I'm quite careful. And now I'm sleeping. For like 1 month, I couldn't sleep, or I couldn't go either side. But now I've got better at it. So it's still a bit frozen. But I just think I just cope with it now for 6 months until it just better, and I've forgotten I even had it. That's what happened last time. But thanks for asking. And yes, I'm doing like trying to do 2 a week. I'm even going out of town a little bit more. I did. What did I do? Crawley. And I'm going to do one in, I think, Christchurch soon. And somewhere else as well. I might do Watford. So I'm sort of... There'll still be sort of new material nights or work in progress. I've got a bit, they'll soon be called work in progress. Once I've got like the 50, 60 minutes mark, you don't call it new material, you call it you work on that material. But it's nearly there. It was a good question. Jenna, how are the new material nights progressing? Also, do you keep all the notes you use of them as a memory of how the show begins? Well, yeah, I start off... Okay, so that's a good question. So these are the notes from Armageddon. Right, that's how many I got through. Loads, right? What's this? Fuck borders, Vikings, raping, private jets, praying in disasters, China, dying child. The usual stuff for comedy. Public toilet, pedo, Michael Jackson, Chinese. So they're all the sort of notes I went through, and you go through those and you add to them and you hone them and you get them down to like... And these, right, these are the ones so far. I've got more so far with this one than my last one. So that's already all the stuff I've tried for this new one. So that's what happens. And then you sort of learn it. I sometimes have it on the thing in case I forget. But soon you don't look anymore, and soon you just do the hour. But I keep them just in case. Just in case. Sometimes I look back and I go, oh, that didn't make it in. I wonder why. Was it for time? Was it the wrong time? Did it not make sense? Did it not work in context? And sometimes you go back and you go, oh, that might work this time. And sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. So, yes, they're going great. Doris, would you prefer... this is a human. Would you prefer to have fingers as long as your legs or legs as long as your fingers? So, right, okay. So, legs as long as my fingers, so that's no legs at all, though, is it? That's just feet. That's just feet, though, isn't it? So the choice is, would I rather look like E.T. or fingers as long as legs? So, like, I mean, that would be ridiculous, wouldn't it? That would be horrible. I like some sort of fucking spider. Yard-long fingers. That would be fucking horrible. That one gives me the creeps more than just fucking feet for legs. Well, I mean, on the face of it, that's got to be the better one, isn't it? I'm totally normal, and I've got really long fingers. I mean, you can't hide them though, can you? Well, if will I make a fist, it would be like, oh God. I mean, it would be tough. I could put my hands in my pockets if I had really long, deep pockets. So I'm just standing there with my hands in my pockets, and people go, oh, look, it's Ricky Gervais, he's just totally normal. And I go, can I shake your hand? And I pull out these fucking things and go, that would be horrible. Or I've just feet where straight away I've just got feet where my hips are. Also, if I've just got feet, my will be dragging on the floor. I'm not sure about but my definitely longer than my fingers. Just fucking flapping along. Oh, here comes fucking knobby penguin. I don't know why I'm naked. What do I wear? Speedos, I suppose. That's the only things that would fit me, wouldn't it? Just Speedos to cover my arse and balls, and I'll probably hold them up the floor. Tight Speedos, so my balls didn't drag on the floor, and then just feet. I have to choose fingers then, because I don't think people I think that people would feel sorry for me if I just flapping along in Speedos like a fat naked penguin. I don't want that. So I choose the scary thing. I think I just go around frightening people like that, going, just big fucking long fingers like that. I keep breaking them, wouldn't I? I just keep breaking them. What can I do? What can I hold on anything? I've got to choose fingers. Again, there's no way George Clooney is giving that question that much care and attention as I just did. Not a chance. Dutch barn. Right. What a load of bollocks. I've got a question for you. This is Bella. Bella's back. Bella's a dog, by the way. I'm going to be 10 years old this year. Happy birthday, Bella. Is it too late for me to learn the guitar? You idiot. Oh, can an old dog really learn new tricks? You don't want to... You'd chew it, wouldn't you? No, what could you learn? You don't need to learn anything, Bella. You're brilliant. You do your zoomies. You collect your sticks. Be careful with sticks, though, because we know a lovely dog who loves sticks, and they got a splinter, and they had to go and have a little operation. So be careful with sticks. Be careful when you throw sticks for dogs as well, because they can sort of catch them and throw them. Also, you've got to be careful. There's a lot of sharp things. You can get sort of fake sticks. That's what I do. That's what we used to do in Afterlife. We had little fake sticks made. They're sort of like heavy foam, so they can't hurt the dog. I always worry about a dog when you throw sticks for a dog. Even your ball, you've got to be careful that it's not the size that they can choke on. That's where those strings are for, so you can pull it out. So be careful. So yeah, be careful with sticks, Bella. That's my advice. Right, that was the usual absolute bollocks. What did we learn there? We learned what it was like to be a bat. Dutch barn. I got loads of notes on shit. Starving children. Local pedo. Child addicted. Oh, that's a joke I didn't do. There's a joke I didn't do. That must be an early one from... That must be Armageddon. No, that might be Supernature. It was, it's clean underwear. It was when I was little. My mum always used to say, wear clean underwear every day in case you get run over. So I think I used to say things like, so one, she was more embarrassed that I'd have dirty underwear than her child had been run over. Also, if I knew I was going to get run over, I wouldn't go out. It's not like, in case you get run over, what do you mean in case I get run over? I'm not fucking going out. What, I might get run over. Well, these underpants, I don't give a fuck about them. Also, if I got run over, the first thing I do is shit myself. Is that a bit? That might be a bit, mightn't it? Yeah, look, we workshopped a bit. Right, another absolute load of twaddle. Cheers, everyone. Be nice to animals. Bye, Dutch Barn. Dutch Barn. Tatty bye. Tatty bye.